We kept the war going through the fall. The memory of my father left the box in the basement, and every few days I would check on it and see what was happening. Many lives were lost. The sun rose and fell. I looked to see if there might be any end in sight, but I didn't have the whole thing. This box was apparently only one piece of a much larger conflict, so I never knew who was who and whether one side was making more progress than the other. One Sunday that winter, the memory of my father met an antiques collector at an estate sale. He told this man about the box and the designs on the front, and the collector said he'd like to see it. The memory of my father called me that afternoon and told me to clear out the war so that he could show the box to the collector. "How am I supposed to do that?" I asked. "You're a big boy, you can figure it out," memory of my father said. "Just scoop it out." Something inside me was sad. "Did you tell him about the lock?" "Bah," memory of my father said. "He won't even notice it." I thought long and hard about how to get rid of the war. I didn't want to just pour it out. Instead, I put the box in the freezer, thinking that all of the soldiers would freeze and die, and then I could dump the whole thing into the trash. Hills and bunkers and bodies and all. But somehow, the soldiers survived the cold. I opened the box after 2 days in the freezer, and I saw a division dressed in fur, marching stiffly along a perimeter. By this point I was using a magnifying glass, which I borrowed from my son's science kit, to see closer, and I could see every face as individual and unique. I saw 2 men huddled together for warmth and another a few feet away, writing a letter. I snatched it from his hand and read it. "Things get worse all the time. This cold front is upon us, and every day we lose more men. My sergeant says that we will never give up, never die, but if I can't get warm soon, I don't think I'll make it. I think back to home. Remember the shower day, that Tuesday before the concert? I think of you and how warm that was. God, my hands, I can't hold the pen. Have to go. I'll write again tonight. Love." I brought the box with me when I went home that night for dinner, and I held it out to the memory of my father. "The war's still in there," I told him. "What?" he said. "I told you to clear it out." "I tried to freeze them, but it didn't work." "Just get them out of there," the memory of my father said. Then he took the box under his arm and went outside. The late afternoon sun was a piece of candy. The memory of my father turned on the hose and opened the box. All of the fighting stopped, and the soldiers looked up into their sky, past their sun, and into the memory of my father's face. He sprayed the inside hard, until all the dead bodies and the hills and streams and stars and moon were pushed out onto the pavement, and within minutes the box was completely empty. With his holy hose, the memory of my father forced them down the driveway and towards the gutter at the curb. The antiques collector didn't buy the box. He was upset when he saw that it had a broken lock, and so the memory of my father brought it home and stored it in his garage. A few years later, I found the box again, dusty and stashed in a corner. I opened it up and peered inside. I saw 6 or 7 men huddled around a fire. I think there was a crude map of some sort at their feet. It looked to me as if they were making plans.